Yes, Seth Rollins is getting a brand new theme song. And good news, everybody, it's not made by Def Rebel. But WWE were nice enough. They said, the Forehead Maniacs deserve to hear the Def Rebel version. What if I tell you I have the Def Rebel version and we're gonna react to it later? Also, in Greatness of Wrestling, we're gonna talk about Nikki Bella, R-Truth, Goldberg, and interesting Jey Uso news.
Yeet!
Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. How are you guys doing today? Seth Rollins is getting a brand new theme song. Pretty interesting considering that one of the very few good theme songs Def Rebel actually made in the WWE. And the theme song is so over. Everybody's going crazy. Let me remind you, this theme song was actually written for a heel Seth Rollins. I know we're all doing the... Not gonna do that shit. Why? But it's a heel theme. But I guess WWE don't really like the babyface-like reception he's getting. Bodyslam.net's Corey Hayes says WWE is working with a mainstream artist to create a new entrance song for Seth Rollins. So even though Seth's music is pretty interesting, it's pretty good, it's working out, it's iconic at this point, right? Like it's over. In an era where every theme song sounds like dog shit, this one does not sound like dog poo-poo. The people are into it. But this is what gets me interested. Mainstream artist. And Seth Rollins, so far, is using rock music, metal music. So I'm expecting some good shit, man. I am expecting some good music. Might as well give this faction a theme song. I've also heard they're trying to come up with a name, so that is going to happen too. I'm trying to work on ideas. Heyman's Sugar Boys? Something along those lines. Well, I'm expecting good things out of his theme song. WWE, you greedy ass bastards, you have so much money, invest in your music. But I'm also here to tell you that the Def Rebel theme song they sent me goes hard. People, I want you to be very open-minded. Burn down, yeah, okay.
I love Braun Breaker's 10. Bronson beat my ass so good, but I was in a very good mood.
Development.
Couldn't do it on my own. Dean Ambrose is long gone.
AW reference.
Needed a partner, need a hot tag, so I tickled Paul's balls.
Man!
Paul's punk sucks, I will kick him in the nuts. Cody say you push goodbye, might as well I'll make you cry. John, you claim you ain't flawed, but all I see is a balding fraud. Jey, so what does your catchphrase even mean? I'll put you back in a tag team.
Oh. Yada yada yada. You know, I miss WWE music with vocals. I think this Def Rebel version definitely works, and in a way, I'm disappointed we're not gonna hear that on WWE television. Here's what I respect about Tony Khan. AEW has some bangers, and it's because they actually license music. How he's a jungle boy entered one of the most known songs of all time. They gave a good one to Moxley too. If he's still using it, I have no idea. It's also crazy because Triple H, out of everybody, was such a big Motorhead fan, who had plenty of great ass theme songs. Honestly, I feel like he does understand they're just being greedy as hell. You know, you can't beat Triple H, whose whole shtick is make a cool entrance with a great theme song, and not understand that shit, right? Sometimes you get lucky, like with LA Knight. I love his theme song, even though it's very generic. For whatever reason, it just works for his character. One of these very rare cases where they actually got lucky. I also hate like nowadays WWE are like, oh, young people like hip-hop. Well, then everybody has to enter with the exact same song. Try to defend that shit. Try to defend that shit. SmackDown's theme song sounds like wet ass you know, something like that. But let me know in the comments below, do you want Seth Rollins to change his WWE theme song, which at this point is pretty iconic? Let's talk about the former World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso. After Xavier Woods posted his reaction video to Jey Uso dropping the world title to Gunther on Raw, there's been a lot of speculation about the Usos reuniting as a team to go after the New Day's World Tag Team Championship. On paper, I like the idea. I really do. Jimmy ain't doing shit. Jey Uso lost a lot of momentum. He has to be doing something. I like the idea of the Usos reuniting. You know, one of my favorite WWE tag teams of all time. Most of you will agree. Absolutely amazing. On the other hand, I don't like the idea of Jey Uso going back to being a tag team wrestler. This honestly tells me WWE are giving up. I mean, Jimmy's probably excited as fuck. But Jey just won the World Championship at WrestleMania. You know, I'ma turn into Rikishi, man.
Yeet, yeet, yeet your motherfucking ass yeet.
Say what you will about Jay, always comments either accusing me of hating on Jay, which is completely missing the point, or people saying you're defending Jay and Jay is horrible. He's over. He is over. With that crowd reaction, WWE Creative needed to work a little bit more. Won the championship, got this program with Logan Paul, lost the championship. That was basically it. You know, and I kind of feel sorry for the guy. He's one of the most over superstars in professional wrestling right now. So in a way, you know, I kind of feel like putting him back into a tag team. I don't like the sound of that. I am very interested in this R-Truth run. WrestleVotes knows that Ron Killings will be referred to by his real name on television, but also still be known as R-Truth, so that name is not going away altogether. That's why commentary was using both names on SmackDown this past week. Well, if you want the official answer, the great one approved answer, his WWE superstar name, most likely the name you're going to see on WWE 2K26, is R-Truth. Well, as of now anyway, because if you go to WWE.com, it's still R-Truth. No mention of Ron Killings. Here's something also funny I found. R-Truth bio. The truth is this. WWE would probably not be nearly as entertaining without R-Truth in it. That's why we fired his ass. WWE would be nothing without R-Truth. And that's why we don't need him. Here's the truth, people. R-Truth probably wanted exposure. He wanted exposure, use his real name, leave the WWE, and people know who Ron Killings is. I feel like if he's okay with that, that's completely enough. Like now, more people than ever before know his real name. It's being mentioned all the time by wrestlers, by commentary. It's not that big of a deal anyway. Seems like a pretty good compromise. At the end of the day, WWE fans knew R-Truth as R-Truth for decades now. The man is like over 50, right? 53 years old. From Charlotte, Carolina. Well, I've got no idea what they're putting in that Charlotte, Carolina water, but the man looks great. Now look, I don't know how I feel about the idea of R-Truth becoming a WWE champion right now, but here's something I've noticed. It's kind of weird. A lot of fans are like, this guy is too old, LA Knight is too old, Damien's too old, everybody's too old, Punk is too old, Cody is too old, everybody is old, we need to push young talent. But what I've also realized, it also applies to guys like Lashley, Cody, everybody. Wrestlers get over, they get better when they're like 35-ish. It's really weird, but in most cases, that's the truth. I don't know if it's just the familiarity and people want to see these guys getting pushed finally. I have no idea what it is, but it's crazy how wrestlers peak at like 40. Are y'all excited about Goldberg? Probably gonna happen tonight on Raw. I'm almost guaranteed. Wanna make a bet? If he doesn't show up, I'll upload a video of me swinging my dingly dongly. Something like that. Following on the story of Goldberg returning to WWE next week to kick off his retirement angle, Pro Wrestling Insider says he is expected to make regular appearances on Raw leading up to WWE's weekend of events in Atlanta in July. So Goldberg is gonna be there every week. Now, you want a hot take? I'm gonna give you a hot take, my beautiful people. So here's the thing. I don't mind that. Like I've said, you probably know I'm in the very minority who doesn't mind legends. I think if booked right, they actually add to the product. I like nostalgia, and it's a good business move whether you like it or not. You know, you like these young talent from NXT. A lot of people have no idea who they are. They came back to watch Monday Night Raw because Goldberg is here, which sounds ridiculous in a way, but that's the reality. I don't even mind Gunther versus Goldberg. I think the match looks pretty exciting, and Gunther winning against Goldberg is a pretty big deal, especially after losing against Jey Uso, tapping out to Jey Uso, may I add. You know, it's a pretty big deal. I appreciate that. One thing I don't like, though, is the fact that, and I talked about this, but it didn't need the championship. It really didn't. I would hate if the idea is for Gunther to retain the title and then Jey Uso wins it back. Yeah, that sounds like the most Vince McMahon shit I've ever heard. It's something they always do for Survivor Series. When we used to get champion versus champion matches, oh, this match doesn't look that important, let's switch champs. So it's not completely unrealistic. I'm just saying, I like that Gunther won the championship. I hope that's not the only reason they did it. Finally, let's talk about Nikki Bella. In an interview with People, Nikki Bella suggested that she's back in WWE for an extended run rather than one-off match. You will definitely see me for a bit, but it's not quick in and out. Can we get a segment with John? Can we? I don't know. I don't mind it, you know? I don't care. Honestly, that sums it up. I don't really care. I feel indifferent. Really. You know? Wasn't really ever a big fan. Wasn't a hater either. One thing I never liked is her delivery in promos. She sounds very, very scripted. I can't explain. Sounds like she's reading a script. Speaking of Bella, Russell Woods heard that WWE is hopeful to get Brie Bella back with a creative idea for WWE's tag team title match at Evolution currently on the table. That is the best case scenario. That really is. You know, Nikki accomplished more in the WWE than Brie, but the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships are so, you know, it would definitely add to these championships' legacy, even if they end up winning. I'm not gonna complain. But again, you know, always felt kinda indifferent, never really cared that much. I just remember this segment, promo, whatever you wanna call it. I wish you died in the womb!
I wish you died in the womb!
You know what, people, reality TV is pretty big right now. Bring back Total Divas. You want... Do you want a special appearance from your Divas champion? Well... I have lost my Divas Championship.
None of you are coming for my title.
The rumors are true. Nothing against Deontay, but like, he actually broke into my house and pinned me while I was sleeping. Weird. But most importantly, I lost the Divas Championship.
This just ain't right, man. Ain't right.
So, the Divas Champion era of the Great One is over. And of course, honestly, don't feel like talking. So, thank you so much for watching this video. You know, it's been hurtful